Hello, welcome to 1.0, the very first lesson of the year in statistics. And we're just going to talk about what is a statistic and how to classify variables today. So at the top of your notes page, there's room to write in your learning targets. So you can pause this video now if you want and write those learning targets in. But what we're talking about today is how to identify the individuals and variables in a set of data, how to classify variables as categorical or quantitative. In classroom today, you were given a survey, an AP statistics survey, and it has all types of variables on here. And so make sure you have that in front of you as we go through this lesson. So what is statistics? Well, statistics is the science and the art of collecting, analyzing, and drawing conclusions from data. An individual is an object described in a set of data, and individuals can be people, animals, things. It's whatever you're describing. There are different types of variables, but a variable is an attribute that can take different values for different individuals. So for instance, if I were looking at my statistics class and I looked at their heights, okay, then height would be an attribute of the individuals, which would be my statistics students. Okay, so a variable could be quantitative or it could be categorical. We know it's categorical if it's basically being put into groups. And it's quantitative if it takes on a number value that you could do measurements with, and so on. Categorical variable assigns labels that place each individual into a particular group called a category. And here it says, look at your survey questions, do a rally robin with your shoulder partner, listing which of the variables would be considered categorical data. Clearly, if you're watching this video, you don't have a shoulder partner, or you likely don't have a shoulder partner. And so what you're going to do is look at your survey and just kind of look at those and decide which one of these do you think would be categorical. So as we look at categorical, some of the things that I just see off the top here, class period would be categorical. Even though it's a number, you could say first period, second period, it's still putting people in a group, okay? And then extrovert, introvert, that would be grouping. I was looking to see what else on there was categorical. Are you opposed to the death penalty? That would be categorical. Hopefully you're getting an idea of what I mean there. Quantitative variables take number values that are quantities, counts, or measurements. And so in this case, I want you to look again at your survey questions and list which one of these are quantitative. Okay, some of the ones that just stand out are how far did you travel to get to school today? Okay, how many contacts do you have in your cell phone? So hopefully you're getting that as well. Analyzing data. So a variable generally takes values that vary, and we are interested in the pattern of that variation. And that pattern is called a distribution. So if I took all of your heights and I graphed them, I would be looking at the distribution of heights. So it tells us what values a variable takes and how often it takes those values. So here I have an example of number of languages spoken, whether they're right-handed, left-handed, and then the province that we're looking at, the person's from, and the gender, and so on. A categorical variable here would be preferred communication. Okay, so we're grouping that. It's either in person, Facebook, cell phone, so on. And we could make a graph of that, and that graph would be a bar graph, and it gives us a feel for what does this look like. number of languages spoken is a quantitative variable because it's a number, right? And we could add or subtract or do any kind of mathematics with that. And with that, we would make something called a dot plot. And when we talk about a distribution of values, we're really talking about quantitative data. Because if you think about a bar graph, you could put the bars for in-person and Facebook in different places, and that would look differently depending on how you made your bar graph. But when you look at a dot plot, you have to put it in numerical order. You put a dot over, so you count and see, okay, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people who spoke only one language, and so there's 6 dots over the 1. And so this is a distribution that that we look at in terms of languages. We can tell something about the shape of this, how unusual it is for somebody to speak 4 languages. And so when we talk about distribution, we're talking about, and you might as well start learning the acronyms, shape, outliers, centers, and spread. And so that is something we would do with quantitative variables. So examine each variable by itself and study the relationship among the variables. And that starts with graphs. And then we add numerical summaries. And so we'll be learning about how to find the mean, the standard deviation, quartiles, and so on as we progress through this unit. So our goal here is to take a population, and from that population to take a sample. And we collect data from that representative sample. Now, the key word here is representative. We want a sample that as much as possible reflects what the population looks like. Okay? And then we perform an analysis on that data, and hopefully we can make some inference about the population we took the data from, if we do it in a proper way. And that's really what statistics is all about, is getting a picture of what's actually happening without asking the whole population. And so today what we've talked about is identifying the individuals and variables in a data set, classifying variables as categorical or quantitative. And hopefully that was clear for you and you understand the difference. If not, I'll see you in tutoring. Y'all have a wonderful day.